Welcome to our interview with the CEO of Medcan, Micael. This video has been a long time coming, so I apologise for the delays as I've had a cheeky brain operation that delayed things somewhat. It's been a while since we released something like this, so I wanted to get this out there and introduce ourselves to those of you who are new. We produced this interview because we wanted to create a series that helps demystify the UK medical cannabis industry by combining our knowledge of working in this space with supply chain hurdles, compliance and legalities, as well as being a patient myself, seeing a lot of the issues from the patient's perspective. So with this interview, I hope that it helps shed light on what's involved in growing and importing medical cannabis to the UK's medical marketplace. So who are we? We're Infinity CBD. First launched in 2019 at the Hemp and CBD Expo in the NEC, we have since gone on to produce a full line of FSA validated products in our own labs here in Pembrokeshire, ranging from day-to-day supplements to more involved wellness and pampering orientated products. We also provide educational talks and one-on-one training for those wanting to work in the CBD and medical cannabis space, hoping to help expand the UK's medical cannabis industry from the roots up. So without further delay, I want to jump into this interview with you. This was shot toward the end of last year as we finally had a slot available that lined up. So we shot down to London for the day to meet Micael and ask him some questions. I would like to know why so few balance strains are available. Now, obviously, from your perspective as a craft producer, you're very much focused on your phenotype and where you are now. But imagining you weren't in the position where you're exploring a new strain right now, is that something that you could comment on? Is this something that's in the pipeline in your mind down the road?
Yeah, so the rule at the moment in terms of the label, let's call it label requirements in the UK, is that you're allowed a discrepancy or a variation of 10 plus minus 10% either way. Okay. on your major compounds. So if you've got a 20% THC flower, you can go plus minus 10% on that per batch. So you could have a batch that's harvested at 22%, that's the upper limit, and then 18% would be the lower limit. Now, what you see on the markets is you usually have a CBD flower or you have a THC flower, because it's hard enough to keep your bands or to keep your batches consistent for one of those compounds, right? One of the cannabinoids. The minute you start doing a balanced flower, like a 10-10, 20-20, I don't know what the balance ratios are, you now have to hit the mark on both of those. And so if you're trying to harvest a 10-10 THC CBD, if your THC is more than 11, but your CBD is still 10, your flower is no longer balanced. You're no longer bringing that in as a balanced flower.
Got you.
And so the biggest challenge from our point of view, I don't know about other cultivators, but we've spoken about it at length at Medcan, is it's going to be very difficult, because from batch to batch the variation, listen, you keep it tight, but at the end of the day you even said it, it's plants. And so we're indoor, we're controlling our environment, we're controlling all the elements, and still there's going to be a little bit of variation. And so to hold yourself to that band is very difficult, which is probably why, from my point of view, there's not many, if any. I don't know, are there any balanced flowers?
There's a few. Okay. But in my experience, they pop up,
go out of stock.
They disappear.
Exactly.
Yeah, and now that makes sense. I've never considered it from that perspective.
That's probably the major reason. There's probably other reasons in terms of the phenos and the strains and the securing the genetics, but the biggest thing is that you have to hold yourself to this variation of the label, of your label. Yeah. And so per batch, is that really something that you want to do?
You've got two moving targets instead of one, basically. Yeah, I just, in my ignorance, I just assumed they'd kind of either both be over or under. But see,
who knows?
Well, this is it, yeah. So I guess I hadn't considered environmental factors affecting one over the other or anything. Interesting. Okay, thank you. That was a good question by then.